to move forward.
Yes, absolutely. This particular meeting is very crucial when it comes to the border clashes between both the countries. And of course, this is the 24th special representative border talks taking place between both the special representatives when it comes to the border questions, boundary questions. That's China's foreign minister, of course, and also NSA Doval. This very particular meeting is very crucial when it comes to de-escalation between both the sides.
All right, stay with us. Chandrakar, I was just coming back to you. Let's go to our executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who is joining us. Abhishek, we can see these visuals. There are very, very crucial talks going on between NSA Ajit Doval and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi right now. What can we expect out of this very, very crucial meeting?
Well, you see, I would go back to the statement that had come from President Xi Jinping in South Africa, Durban, when he had said that movement should happen, fast-paced movement should happen on boundary issue. And that's something I think which the two sides should be focusing on, because remember, this is sort of festered for long, almost giving an impression that the Chinese actually do not want to sort out the boundary issue. Otherwise, there should be no differing perceptions on LAC if the talk. Remember, this is the 24th round of talks. And even for LAC, there is an Indian LAC and there is a Chinese LAC based on the perception of both the sides. That's something which should have been sorted out long ago. So hopefully now that momentum is building up again, and post-Galwan, both the sides are trying to bring in an element of fairness and integrity in the conversation. The Chinese particularly have to, move beyond their position that they want to keep things little ambiguous so that they can, continue with their salami slicing, as it is called. So it was not just about Galwan in 2020. We had, before that, Doklam in 2017. Before that, we had Chumar in 2014. Before that, we had the Depsang issue in 2013. And, goes all the way to Sundorongla in 1986-87. So I think the 1993-1996 agreements have to be strengthened, and hopefully when the talks happen now between Wang Yi and NSA Doval, some concrete measures would be put in place so that there are no misunderstandings on the ground, and the mechanisms to address those misunderstandings are strengthened in a manner that we do not see a repeat of Galwan and again India-China ties going into a deep freeze.
And Abhishek, also considering the fact that Wang Yi is going to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the evening later today, and really this visit really expected to prepare ground for PM Modi's visit to China, where he is traveling for the SCO meeting, and he is also likely to meet President Xi Jinping. So considering all those, this meeting today is also going to be crucial.
You are absolutely right. So there is an element of prep insofar as Wang Yi's New Delhi visit is concerned, which is panning out. So of course the special representative talks that are happening now as we speak, and then the meeting that the Chinese foreign minister had with his Indian counterpart as Jaishankar yesterday. All this would go into preparing the stage for the big one, which is the meeting of Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping in Tianjin, on the sidelines of the SCO summit. And the two leaders effectively would be meeting after 11 months. The last they met in October in Kazan in Russia on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. In fact, that's when the two sides decided to sort of defreeze the ties and start building up in the direction of normalization. So obviously the two leaders would review what progress has been made in the last 11 months and what the direction of India-China ties are going to be. Remember, Prime Minister Modi invested a lot in upgrading the India-China ties, but unfortunately, both during Doklam and Galwan in 2017 and 2020, we saw respectively how the Chinese, compartmentalize the boundary issue from the rest of the relationship. And this time, of course, India's approach of having a comprehensive look at the relationship hopefully would, bring some results. And that's what we are seeing in the a string of meetings that the Chinese foreign minister is having in New Delhi, including, of course, the courtesy call that he's going to have in the evening with the Prime Minister.
All right. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for those insights on to the big story that we are tracking right now. And viewers, we have more breaking news coming in, and this is regarding Wang Yi's visit only. And as per sources, China has promised to address three key concerns of India. And that is Foreign Minister Wang Yi has assured the External Affairs Minister that China is addressing India's needs of fertilizers, rare earths and tunnel boring machines. So the three key issues, the three key concerns, fertilizers, rare earths and tunnel boring machines. Let's get a perspective. Chandrakala is now joining us on the phone line. In fact, she's joining us live from the national capital. Chandrakala, now there are the three issues that, Wang Yi has said that has actually assured India that will be addressed, India's need for fertilizers, rare earths, and of course, tunnel boring for machines. Of course, we understand that rare earths is going to be very crucial because, it is where smartphones and some defense equipment also comes from. How are these three key issues important?
Well, very, very important because now that both the countries are, facing Trump's tariff and the trade imbalances created by this tariff imposition by US President Trump, this comes at a very crucial time when China has assured India to take care of the three major concerns when it comes to rare earths, fertilizers, and of course, pharmaceuticals is one such key major factor which is also on card because now, as far as the sources are concerned, both sides has also to have a discussion soon on a trade package when it comes to rare earth and fertilizer and pharmaceuticals. As we know that this particular visit comes at a very, very crucial time, and now that both the countries has resumed border trade and of course the normalization of ties, which is also one of the very, very important development as far as the relations between both the countries are concerned. And now that China has come in strong support of India when it comes to tariff, as we know that China has been hit the highest when it comes to tariff, and of course India, as we know, the additional tariffs are concerned by President Trump, and China has come out in support of India when it comes to tariff imposition. It said that it undermines the WTO, which is a huge statement when it comes to China. And of course now the Chinese foreign minister is also meeting the NSA Doval when it comes to border issues, also meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi from sometimes now. So yes, very important developments when it comes to trade as well as the normalization of ties, yes.
All right, Chandrakala, thank you so much for those details there. Keep tracking those developments. We'll keep coming back to you. And viewers, we have more breaking news coming in. And from the national capital, the NDA parliamentary meeting has concluded, and NDA's vice presidential pick, CP Radhakrishnan, was felicitated in this meeting. So very, very significant meeting happening in the national capital there in Parliament Library building. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, various union ministers met the vice presidential candidate of the NDA, and he was felicitated at this meeting. Remember, this coming in after Prime Minister Modi held a meeting with Mr. Radhakrishnan yesterday, and today in this NDA parliamentary meeting, he was felicitated. It was an introductory meeting really with all the floor leaders. And he was felicitated at this meeting. Remember, he is going to now file his nomination papers soon. All right, let's get all the updates. But before that, let's listen in to what Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju said.
आज एनडीए पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी का बैठक हुई। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मौजूदगी में उपराष्ट्रपति चुनाव में एनडीए के प्रत्याशी आदरणीय सीपी राधाकृष्णन जी का परिचय हुआ। एनडीए पार्टी के जितने भी फ्लोर लीडर्स हैं, एनडीए के मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हैं, सबने गर्मजोशी के साथ आदरणीय सीपी राधाकृष्णन जी का स्वागत किया, अभिनंदन किया और आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद दिया। धन्यवाद विशेष करके कि ऐसा एक शख्सियत, बहुत ही सरल इंसान, जिन्होंने जीवन भर देश और समाज के लिए सेवा दी है और अनेक राज्यों में गवर्नर के रूप में काम किए हैं और पुडुचेरी में लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के रूप में भी काम किए हैं। उनका परिचय आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने एनडीए संसदीय दल के बैठक में राधाकृष्णन जी का परिचय दिया है। परिचय के साथ साथ आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने अपील किया है कि उपराष्ट्रपति जी के इस चुनाव में जो उम्मीदवार एनडीए ने तय किया है, उनको
पूरे पार्टी मिलकर के, सब पार्टी का दल, सब एमपीज एक साथ आकर के सर्वसम्मति से समर्थन करें, ये आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपील किया है। आदरणीय सीपी राधाकृष्णन जी बहुत ही उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए बहुत अच्छा नाम है, ये सब ने माना है और जीवन में कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं है, कोई करप्शन नहीं है, कोई दाग नहीं है, बहुत सरल जीवन उन्होंने जिया है और सिर्फ समाज और देश के लिए काम किया है। ऐसा व्यक्ति देश का उपराष्ट्रपति बनेंगे तो देश के लिए बहुत खुशी की बात होगी। इसलिए आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की ओर से पूरे विपक्ष के साथियों को भी विशेष करके अपील किया है कि श्री सीपी राधाकृष्णन जी का सर्वसम्मति से समर्थन करें। आदरणीय राजनाथ सिंह जी सबसे बात भी कर रहे हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि एक साथ मिलकर के उपराष्ट्रपति जी का चुनाव में सर्वसम्मति से राधाकृष्णन जी का सपोर्ट करें तो हमारा लोकतंत्र के लिए भी, हमारा देश के लिए भी और राज्यसभा को संचालन करने में भी बहुत उपयोगी होगी। तो एनडीए पार्टी के पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी के बैठक में सब पार्टी ने आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी धन्यवाद दिया कि बहुत ही अच्छा इंसान को और बहुत ही लायक नेता को उपराष्ट्रपति जी का चुनाव के लिए उम्मीदवार के रूप में उतारा गया है।
All right, my colleague Harsha is now joining us live from the national capital. Harsha, a very, very significant meeting there concluding, and at this meeting, of course, NDA's vice presidential pick, Mr. Radhakrishnan, was felicitated there as well. Now, what can we expect ahead? He is going to soon file his nomination papers. What more details do you have?
Now NDA and all MPs of the NDA parliamentary party have felicitated CP Radhakrishnan, who is a candidate of VP from NDA. And what we have getting to know from our sources in the NDA is that tomorrow CP Radhakrishnan will be filing his nomination, as 21st August is the last day for nomination filing. 20th August, that is tomorrow, CP Radhakrishnan will be filing his nomination. And also it was very important because a day before filing the nomination today, that means CP Radhakrishnan being introduced to all the parties of the NDA, to all the allies of the NDA, all the leaders from the JDU party, LJP party and Apna Dal party, all the TDP party, all the allies of the NDA today felicitated CP Radhakrishnan with the shawl and bouquet, and that showed the support which BJP, which the NDA has from all its allies during the voting when it will happen on December 9 for CP Radhakrishnan. So now the meeting has concluded. All the leaders have now gone inside the parliament, as also the proceedings of the parliament will also begin of both the houses in Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. But today and tomorrow is the very important day, keeping in mind that till now the opposition has yet not finalized its VP candidate. The marathon meeting in the block of the ND still continues, because yesterday opposition party leaders did the virtual meeting to decide the VP candidate. Today again the block leaders will be meeting at 12:30 afternoon in the parliament to decide the candidate of opposition for the VP candidate. Now on one side, what we are witnessing is that NDA has already started the campaign for its VP candidate. Rajnath Singh has already spoken to the parties, not only who are the allies of NDA, but those who are not the part of NDA, like YSRCP. Rajnath Singh spoke to Jagan Mohan Reddy for the support to CP Radhakrishnan. YSRCP has 10 MPs in Parliament, 7 in Rajya Sabha, 4 in Lok Sabha. So 10 is a huge number. The Biju Janata Dal has also been contacted by Rajnath Singh to give the support in favor of CP Radhakrishnan. So the campaign from the side of NDA has already begun for CP Radhakrishnan, while in the ND bloc there's still not consensus that who will be the vice president candidate. So what we see here is the planning and strategized move of the NDA, which they have already are on. Back to you.
All right, Harsha. Thank you so much for those updates there. And viewers, my colleague Harsha earlier also spoke to Rajiv Shukla. Listen in.
I'm joined by Congress Member of Parliament Rajiv Shukla. Mr. Shukla, now Prime Minister in the NDA Parliamentary Party meeting, also has spoken about Indus Water Treaty, how it was the fallout of Jawaharlal Nehru. Even Congress MPs that time in 1960 were not in favor of Indus Water Treaty.
Jawaharlal Nehru should not be blamed for that. Jawaharlal Nehru then had done so much during partition. I'm telling you the kind of proposal which had been submitted by Radcliffe. Nehru made lot many amendments into it in India's favor.
But why Indus Water Treaty was signed before and in Parliament it was introduced later?
Necessary BJP is trying to distort the history.
But what water issues India is facing right now is because of Jawaharlal Nehru, that BJP party has stated.
Because they don't have anything to say about their government performance today. So they are blaming Nehru. On everything they are blaming Nehru. This is a new trend which has started.
So this is Rajiv Shukla on Indus Water Treaty and BJP's claim that it was Jawaharlal Nehru's fallout.
Let's get you some more news from across the nation. A case has been registered against Regional Transport Officer Nagaraj for allegedly misbehaving with a woman officer. The complainant Kavita, who works as a motor vehicle inspector, alleged that Nagaraj had been misbehaving with her for the past 1.5 months. According to her, when she came to the office feeling unwell and wearing a jacket, Nagaraj insisted that she remove the jacket despite her refusal, leading to inappropriate behavior. Based on a complaint, the police registered an FIR. A private bus travelling from Sangli in Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu overturned on National Highway 48 in Haveri district, leaving 2 people dead and several others injured. 6 passengers sustained serious injuries, including several children, while 29 others narrowly escaped. The accident occurred when the bus driver braked suddenly to avoid a car that came in its way, causing the vehicle to hit the driver before overturning. The injured were rushed to the Haveri District Hospital for treatment. Haveri SP has also visited the spot, and police, along with the fire and emergency services, carried out rescue operations. Mumbai battles with severe rainfall. A protective wall built by the city's development authority in New Ashoknagar at Chembur has collapsed. This damaged at least 7 houses and several slum dwellings. No casualties and injuries were reported. The incident has sparked concerns, however, over the resilience of civic infrastructure in flood-prone neighborhoods. Teams from the Mumbai Fire Brigade and the BMC reached the site shortly after being alerted. The debris was cleared and rescue operations were carried out. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence successfully busted a narcotics manufacturing facility in Bhopal, seizing 16.2 kilograms of narcotics worth 92 crore rupees in a joint operation called Operation Crystal Break. The Surat and Mumbai police also supported this operation. DRI carried out raids spanning multiple locations across Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, and apprehended 7 key operatives of the syndicate. In the swift follow-up operations, a key member of the drug cartel was apprehended in Uttar Pradesh, who was entrusted with overseeing the supply of raw materials, and 2 suppliers who have illegally provided the raw materials were also apprehended at Mumbai. Heavy rainfall continued for the 4th consecutive day, resulting in flooding, massive traffic congestion and delayed train and bus services in Mumbai. As heavy rains continue to batter the city, the Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for the entire region.
Considering the adverse weather, the Maharashtra government has declared a holiday for all the schools and colleges in Mumbai. Along with Mumbai and Thane, the Maharashtra government has declared a holiday for all the schools, Anganwadi centers and colleges in Palghar, Thane, Raigad, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg. And viewers, time to take a short break, but news and updates are going to continue throughout the day. And coming up ahead, incessant heavy rains continue to lash Mumbai. Schools and colleges to remain closed. Several areas of Mumbai submerged. Also coming up ahead, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is in the national capital. He is set to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the evening today.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I choose a world where we care and we dare to love. I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best life.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today. And Russia continues to attack civilians, this time in Kharkiv, killing many.
Is there a just offer for peace on the table? Will you see land to Ready, shut.
चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूम देखो केसरिया से मन जोगी।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्यार सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सब का राजा, हार का मसाला। President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today. And Russia continues to attack civilians, this time in Kharkiv, killing many.
Is there a just offer for peace on the table? Will you see land to
Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good morning, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking on Republic TV. I'm Ashwara Kapoor. The top story that we are tracking is Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is in India. He held a meeting yesterday with the External Affairs Minister, and today he is right now holding a meeting with NSA Ajit Doval. He's also going to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi later in the evening. That's the big story of the day. Let's also take a look at the other big stories in the headlines. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in India holds crucial talks with NSA Ajit Doval. Also to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. NDA holds parliamentary meeting. Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah and Vice Presidential candidate CP Radhakrishnan in attendance. Sources say Prime Minister Modi, while addressing the NDA in parliamentary meeting, calls Indus Water Treaty a blunder by Nehru. Opposition snowballs the vote chori allegation. Protests inside parliament premises.
एस्ट्रोनॉमी दो अलग चीजें हैं। सरकार शायद नशत देकर के ही एसआईआर पे बात करेगी।
After stalling discussion on India's space journey, Samajwadi Party remains stern, says wants discussion on the SIR first. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares a candid moment with Shubhanshu Shukla as they talk about the Gaganyaan mission. Top story that we are tracking, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who's on a today official visit to India, is holding the 24th round of special representative dialogues on the boundary question with National Security Adviser Ajit Doval. The Chinese Foreign Minister is also scheduled to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. And according to officials, the meeting with the National Security Adviser is expected to cover a range of issues, including the boundary situation, the trade issue, and the possible resumption of flight services. So that is the meeting that is ongoing at the moment, and that, remember, coming in after he met with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar yesterday, and he is also expected to have a meeting with the Prime Minister later in the evening today. So this is a very, very crucial meeting that is happening right now. Chandrukala is now joining us live for more details. Chandrukala, what more updates do you have? We understand that the meeting is still going on, and of course a boundary issue is expected to be the top focus of this meeting. What else is going to be likely discussed?
Well, of course, the primary agenda of the meeting that is underway right at this moment between China's Foreign Minister and NSA Doval right at the Hyderabad House is basically to focus on the boundary issues. This is the 24th special representative talks when it comes to the boundary issues. As we know that the relations between both the countries was down the hill after the Galwan clash, and of course now both the leaders are talking as far as the boundary issues are concerned, and also on the unresolved issues between both the countries. Now that the External Affairs Minister has rightly pointed out that de-escalation should move forward. So yes, both the countries are working together as far as de-escalation in the border is concerned. Now both the sides are constantly in touch with each other, and of course we have seen that NSA Doval was in China when it comes to the boundary issues, when it comes to boundary talks. That was a 23rd special representative talks, and now it's a foreign minister who is visiting India, which is very crucial, coming at a very crucial time and taking place for the first first time ever since the Galwan clashes happened. So yes, a very crucial meeting is currently underway between both the special representative on the boundary questions. Apart from the boundary issues, of course, resumption of border trade is also one key issues which will be discussed between both the sides. And of course, that we know that the Chinese Foreign Minister will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence today at 5:30 p.m. Here in New Delhi. So yes, a very crucial meeting between all the leaders between both India and China is currently underway. And as we know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be visiting China for the SCO summit. So yes, it's hinted towards normalization of ties between both the countries. A big message to the international community and especially to the US when it comes to the relationship and diplomacy. Over to you.
Right, and Chandrakala, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar also highlighted the importance of this meeting that is happening right now yesterday as well, when he said that the de-escalation process must move forward, and he highlighted the ability to jointly maintain peace and tranquility along the border, and that is, he said, was a very significant step if the two nations are to move ahead and in fact better their bilateral ties. So what really happens in this particular meeting, the outcome of this meeting is of course going to decide on the trajectory of the bilateral ties as well.
Well, absolutely. It's a very important statement being put out by Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, saying that de-escalation must move forward. Now that we know that there were the friction point between both the countries when it comes to border issues, and we have de-escalated on the border issues, but both the sides failed to reach consensus. But of course, they are now exploring counter measures to continue the de-escalation between the two nations, because this is as the External Affairs Minister has rightly conveyed to the Chinese counterpart, that to adopt a candid and constructive approach to build the momentum between both the countries, the momentum of relationship which is now forging towards a normalization,
Right.
of course. And of course, it's very important when it also comes to the business relationship, the trade ties between both the countries. As we have already mentioned that
Right.
China has also taken up this matter with India when it comes to issues, the three major issues that China is going to address as far as fertilizers and rare earths and pharmaceuticals and also is concerned. Yes.
All right, Chandrakala, thank you so much for those details. You keep tracking that very important meeting. We'll keep coming back to you. And viewers, we have to move on right now. And there is an update on the Dharamsthala case, the disappearance of Ananya Bhatt, a first-year MBBS student, has reignited the mystery in the Dharamsthala mass burial probe. Ananya went missing in the year 2003 during a trip to Dharamsthala with her classmates from Kasturba Medical College in Manipal, and her mother Sujata Bhatt claims that she was silenced and attacked when she was trying to file a complaint, leaving her in a coma. And recently, Sujata filed a new case suspecting that Ananya might be among one of the victims of the alleged mass burials after a whistleblower came forward with shocking allegations. And the SIT is now investigating Ananya's disappearance alongside the mass burial claims, while with Sujata releasing Ananya's photo publicly for the first time, seeking justice and answers. All right, Abhishek, my colleague, is now joining us live from Bengaluru for more details. Abhishek, we saw, Sujata Bhatt alleging, the mother of Ananya Bhatt alleging that this case might be related to the Dharamsthala mass burial case. So can we expect some more developments happening, some more investigations now happening as far as the Dharamsthala mass burial case is concerned?
Aishwarya, with respect to the Dharmasthala case, we saw a whistleblower who appeared out of thin air who claimed that he had buried over hundreds of bodies in and around Dharmasthala between 1998 and 2014. After which, Sujata Bhatt, who claims to be the mother of Ananya Bhatt appeared in front of the media and also mentioned that her daughter went missing in the year 2003 when her daughter along with her friends visited Dharmasthala and on the way to give a complaint on some incident that happened in Dharmasthala. Since then she has been missing is what Sujata Bhatt claimed. But on the other hand, we also have some people who claim that Sujata Bhatt never had a daughter and she was working in someone's place, and she claims the person who was in the owner's residence as her daughter. On the other hand, Sujata Bhatt has failed to give the photograph, the evidence to prove that Ananya Bhatt is Sujata Bhatt's daughter. On the other hand, we've also been told, and various other sources claim, that Sujata Bhatt and Ananya Bhatt are two new created evidences who are against Dharmasthala, and this is a manipulated creation of evidence. But we will have to see how the special investigation team proceeds with the claims of Sujata Bhatt in the case of Dharmasthala.
All right, we have to wait and watch how that entire situation unfolds in the Dharamsthala case. Thank you so much for those details. And viewers, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met a group captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the first Indian astronaut to travel to the International Space Station, and hailed the mission as a milestone in India's space journey. Here is the candid conversation. Listen in.
आज के भारत में वो उसको सपने देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, उसको मालूम है कि ये पॉसिबल है।
मैंने जब आपको होमवर्क कहा था तो उसका क्या प्रोग्रेस हुआ है?
और आपसे बात करते वक्त सर पीछे जो मेरे
ये तिरंगा लगाया था,
ये वही तिरंगा है।
और आप मूंग और मेथी का प्रयोग करते हैं?
बहुत अच्छा है सर। मेरे ही क्रूमेट जो मेरे साथ थे साइन करवा के लिख के लेके गए हैं कि जब भी आपका गगनयान जाएगा आप हमें इनवाइट करेंगे और लॉन्च के लिए जल्दी से जल्दी हमें आपके व्हीकल में बैठ के जाना है।
आप लोग जब इतनी बड़ी यात्रा करके वापस पहुंचते हैं,
जी सर,
काफी कुछ चेंज फील होता होगा। जस्ट मैं समझना चाहता हूँ वो किस प्रकार से अनुभव करते हैं आप लोग।
सर जब ऊपर भी जाते हैं तो वहाँ का जो वातावरण है, एनवायरनमेंट है, वो अलग है, ग्रेविटी नहीं है।
आप जाते हैं उसमें तो सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट वैसा ही रहता है?
वैसे ही रहता है सर।
और पूरे 23-24 घंटे उसी में निकालना पड़ता है?
हाँ सर, लेकिन एक बार जब आप अंतरिक्ष में पहुँच जाते हैं तो आप सीट खोल के, अपना हार्नेस खोल के आप उसी कैप्सूल में आप मूव अराउंड आप जा सकते हैं, इधर उधर चीज़ें कर सकते हैं।
इतनी जगह है उसमें?
बहुत तो नहीं है सर, लेकिन थोड़ी बहुत है।
मतलब आपका फाइटर जेट का कॉकपिट है उससे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है।
उससे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है सर। बट पहुंचने के बाद सर काफ़ी कुछ चेंजेस होते हैं, जैसे पूरा आपका हार्ट स्लो हो जाता है, तो वो कुछ बदलाव होते हैं और वो फिर लेकिन 4-5 दिन में बॉडी आपकी यूज्ड टू हो जाती है, वहाँ आप नॉर्मल हो जाते हैं। और फिर जब वापस आते हैं तो फिर वही दोबारा से वही सारे चेंजेस आप मतलब चल नहीं सकते वापस आते हैं, तो चाहे आप कितने भी स्वस्थ हो। मुझे बुरा नहीं लग रहा था, मैं ठीक था, लेकिन फिर भी जब पहला कदम रखा तो मैं मतलब गिर रहा था तो लोगों ने पकड़ रखा था मुझे। फिर दूसरा तीसरा, हालांकि मालूम है कि चलना है, लेकिन वो ब्रेन जो है वो उसको टाइम लगता है सर वापस समझने में कि अच्छा अब ये नया एनवायरनमेंट है, नया वातावरण है।
यानी सिर्फ बॉडी का ट्रेनिंग नहीं है, माइंड का ट्रेनिंग ज़्यादा है।
माइंड का ट्रेनिंग है सर, बॉडी में ताकत है, मांसपेशियों में ताकत है, लेकिन वो ब्रेन की रीवायरिंग होनी है, उसको दोबारा से ये समझना है कि ये नया एनवायरनमेंट है। अब इसमें आपको चलने के लिए इतनी ताकत लगेगी या इतना एफर्ट लगेगा, वो वापस से समझते हैं सर।
सबसे ज़्यादा समय से वहाँ कौन था, कितने समय का?
इस समय सबसे ज़्यादा समय लोग एक टाइम पे करीब 8 महीने तक लोग रह रहे हैं सर। हाँ, इसी मिशन से शुरू हुआ है कि 8 महीने तक रहेंगे।
अभी वहाँ जो लोग मिले आपको?
हाँ, उनमें से कुछ लोग हैं जो कि दिसंबर में वापस आएंगे।
और आप मूंग और मेथी का प्रयोग करते हैं?
बहुत अच्छा है सर। मैं इस बात से बहुत सरप्राइज था कि लोगों को इसके बारे में पता नहीं था, इन चीज़ों के बारे में। फूड बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है सर एक स्पेस स्टेशन पे। जगह कम है, कार्गो महंगा है, आप कम से कम जगह में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कैलोरी और न्यूट्रिशन आपको पैक करने की हमेशा कोशिश रहती है, और हर तरह से प्रयोग चल रहे हैं सब। और इनको उगाना बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत ज़्यादा रिसोर्स नहीं चाहिए स्पेस स्टेशन में। छोटा सा एक आप डिश में थोड़ा सा पानी डाल के उनको छोड़ दीजिए और वो बहुत अच्छे से 8 दिन बाद वो स्प्राउट होना शुरू हो गए थे सर, स्टेशन में ही मुझे देखने को मिले। तो हमारी जो ये टिपिकल जो हमारे कंट्री के जो ये जो सीक्रेट्स हैं मैं बोलूँगा सर, जैसे ही हमें ये मौका मिला कि हम माइक्रोग्रेविटी रिसर्च में पहुंच पाए, ये वहाँ पहुंच गई। और क्या पता कि ये हमारी फूड सिक्योरिटी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करें, क्योंकि एस्ट्रोनॉट्स के लिए तो एक तरह से है ही सर स्टेशन में, लेकिन अगर वहाँ सॉल्व होती है तो ये पृथ्वी पे भी लोगों के लिए फूड सिक्योरिटी की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में हमारी मदद कर सकती है।
पहला एक बार एक कोई भारतीय आया
जी सर,
तो भारतीय को देख करके उनके मन में क्या रहता है, क्या पूछते हैं, क्या बात करते हैं, ये बाकी जो दुनिया के देश के लोग होते हैं?
जी सर, मेरा पर्सनल अनुभव जो रहा है सर पिछले 1 साल में, मैं तो जहाँ भी गया जिससे भी मिला सभी लोग बहुत खुश हुए मुझसे मिलके, बहुत एक्साइटेड थे बात करने में, आके मुझसे पूछने में कि मतलब आप लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये थी कि सबको इसके बारे में मालूम था कि भारत स्पेस के क्षेत्र में क्या कर रहा है, सबको इस बारे में जानकारी थी। और सब मुझसे ज़्यादा तो कई लोग थे जो गगनयान के बारे में इतना एक्साइटेड थे, जो आके मुझसे पूछ रहे थे कि आपका मिशन कब जा रहा है। एंड मेरे ही क्रूमेट जो मेरे साथ थे मुझसे साइन करवा के लिख के लेके गए हैं कि जब भी आपका गगनयान जाएगा आप हमें इनवाइट करेंगे और लॉन्च के लिए, और उसके बाद जल्दी से जल्दी हमें आपके व्हीकल में बैठ के जाना है। तो मुझे लगता है सर कि बहुत ज़्यादा उत्साह है।
ये सारे आपको टैग जीनियस के रूप में बुलाते थे, क्या कारण?
नहीं सर, वो लोग मुझे लगता है बहुत काइंड है जो इस तरह से बोलते हैं, बट मेरी जो ट्रेनिंग रही है सर, जो एयरफोर्स में ट्रेनिंग रही है और उसके बाद हम लोग ने टेस्ट पायलट की ट्रेनिंग की सर, तो मैं एयरफोर्स में जब गया था तो मुझे लगा था कि पढ़ाई नहीं करनी पड़ेगी, बट मुझे इसके बाद बहुत पढ़ाई करनी पड़ी जो मुझे पता नहीं था। और टेस्ट पायलट बनने के बाद तो एक ये काइंड ऑफ एक इंजीनियरिंग का एक डिसिप्लिन बन जाता है सर। इसरो में ट्रेनिंग की, हमारे साइंटिस्ट ने हमको पढ़ाया 2-3-4 साल, तो मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग काफ़ी अच्छे से तैयार थे सर इस मिशन के लिए जब पहुँचे।
मैंने जब आपको होमवर्क कहा था तो उसका क्या प्रोग्रेस हुआ है?
बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्रेस हुआ है सर, और लोग काफ़ी हंसे थे मेरे साथ उस मीटिंग के बाद। उन्होंने मुझे चढ़ाया भी था कि आपके प्रधानमंत्री ने आपको होमवर्क दिया है। दिया तो है, और बहुत ज़रूरी है सर, हमें इस बात का आभास था, मैं गया ही इसलिए था। मिशन तो एक सक्सेसफुल हुआ है सर, हम लोग वापस आ गए हैं, लेकिन ये मिशन अंत नहीं है, मिशन तो शुरुआत है। तो
अरे तो मैंने उसी दिन भी कहा,
आपने उस दिन बोला था सर,
हमारा पहला कदम है,
पहला कदम है सर। तो इस पहले कदम का मेन जो उद्देश्य था वो यही था कि हम कितना कुछ इससे सीख के हम वापस ला सकते हैं।
लेकिन सबसे बड़ा काम होगा हमारे सामने, एक बहुत बड़ा एस्ट्रोनॉट का पूल होना चाहिए हमारे पास
सर।
हमारे सामने 40-50 लोग
सर
रेडी इस प्रकार का
सर।
अब तक तो शायद बहुत कम बच्चों के मन में होता होगा, हाँ यार ये कुछ अच्छा है, लेकिन अब आपके आने के बाद शायद वो विश्वास भी बहुत बढ़ेगा, आकर्षण भी बढ़ेगा।
सर जब मैं छोटा था, राकेश शर्मा सर पहली बार गए थे 1984 में, पर एस्ट्रोनॉट बनने का सपना कभी मेरे मन में नहीं आया, क्योंकि हमारे पास कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था सर। बट मैं जब इस बार गया सर स्टेशन में, तो 3 बार मैंने बच्चों से बात की। एक बार लाइव इवेंट था सर, और 2 बार रेडियो के थ्रू उनसे बात हुई। और तीनों इवेंट में सर एक बच्चा था हर इवेंट में जिसने पूछा कि सर मैं कैसे एस्ट्रोनॉट बन सकता हूँ। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये अपने आप में हमारे देश के लिए बहुत बड़ी सफलता है सर, कि आज के भारत में वो उसको सपने देखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, उसको मालूम है कि ये पॉसिबल है, हमारे पास ऑप्शन है और हम बन सकते हैं। और आपने जैसा कहा सर कि ये जिम्मेदारी है मेरी, मुझे लगता है मुझे बहुत मौका मिला कि मैं अपने देश का रिप्रेजेंट कर पाया हूँ, और अब ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि अब मैं ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को यहाँ तक पहुँचाऊँ।
अब स्पेस स्टेशन और गगनयान
सर,
2 हमारे बड़े मिशन हैं
सर,
उसमें आपका एक्सपीरियंस बहुत काम आएगा।
तो मुझे लगता है सर कहीं ना कहीं हमारे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा मौका है, स्पेशली सर क्योंकि जिस तरह का कमिटमेंट हमारी गवर्नमेंट आपके द्वारा जो है स्पेस प्रोग्राम को सस्टेन्ड बजट एवरी ईयर एंड इन स्पाइट ऑफ फेलियर्स, जैसे कि चंद्रयान 2 सर सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ, उसके बाद भी हमने कहा कि नहीं हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, चंद्रयान 3 सक्सेसफुल हुआ। ऐसे ही फेलियर होने के बाद भी अगर इतना सपोर्ट मिल रहा है, और ये पूरी दुनिया देख रही है तो कहीं ना कहीं सर हमारी इस समय क्षमता भी है और इस समय पोजीशन भी है, तो हम यहाँ पे एक लीडरशिप रोल एक्वायर कर सकते हैं सर। और एक बहुत बड़ा एक टूल होगा अगर एक ऐसा स्पेस स्टेशन जो लेड बाय भारत बट बाकी लोग आके उसका हिस्सा बने। मैंने सुनी सर आपने जो आत्मनिर्भरता इन स्पेस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वाली आपने बात की थी सर, तो ये सारी चीज़ें एक ही तरह से जुड़ी हुई हैं। जो विजन आपने जो अभी दिया है हमें, ये गगनयान का और बैस का और फिर मून लैंडिंग का सर, बहुत बड़ा ड्रीम है सर।
हम अगर आत्मनिर्भर बन के करेंगे तो अच्छा करेंगे।
बिल्कुल सर। मैंने काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें सर स्पेस से फोटोग्राफ वगैरह कोशिश की भारत की लेने की। तो ये भारत यहाँ से शुरू से ये ट्रायंगल, ये बैंगलोर है सर, ये हैदराबाद क्रॉस हो रहा है, और ये जो फ्लैश आप देख रहे हैं सर, ये सारी बिजली चमक रही है सर, जो पहाड़ों में हो रहा है सर। और ये क्रॉस होते ही जो डार्क एरिया आता है सर, ये हिमालय है सर। और ये ऊपर की तरफ जो जा रहे हैं सर, ये तारे हैं सारे, और ये क्रॉस करते ही ये पीछे से सूरज आ रहा है सर।
More news from across the nation. The case has been registered against Regional Transport Officer Nagaraj for allegedly misbehaving with a woman officer. The complainant, Kavita, who works as a motor vehicle inspector, alleged that Nagaraj had been misbehaving with her for the past 1.5 months. And based on her complaint, the police have registered an FIR under Section 75 of the BNS. A private bus travelling from Sangli in Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu overturned on National Highway 48 in Haveri district, leaving 2 people dead and several others injured. 6 passengers sustained serious injuries, including several children, while 29 others narrowly escaped. The accident occurred when the bus driver braked suddenly to avoid a car that came in its way, causing the vehicle to hit the divider before overturning. The injured were rushed to the Haveri district hospital for treatment. Haveri police have also visited the spot, and police along with fire and emergency services carried out rescue operations. As Mumbai battles severe rainfall, a protective wall built by the city's development authority in New Ashok Nagar at Chembur collapsed. This damaged at least 7 houses and several slum dwellings. No casualties or injuries have been reported. The incident, however, has sparked concerns over the resilience of the civic infrastructure in flood-prone neighborhoods. Teams from the Mumbai Fire Brigade and the BMC reached the site shortly after being alerted. The debris was cleared and rescue operations were carried out. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence successfully busted a narcotics manufacturing facility in Bhopal, seizing 16.2 kilograms of narcotics worth 92 crore rupees in a joint operation called Operation Crystal Break. The Surat and Mumbai police supported DRI during this operation. The DRI carried out raids spanning multiple locations across Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and several other states as well. Heavy rainfall continued for the 4th consecutive day, resulting in flooding, massive traffic congestion and delayed train and bus services in Mumbai. As heavy rains continue to batter the city, the India Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for the entire region. Considering the adverse weather, the Maharashtra government has also declared a holiday for all schools and colleges in Mumbai. And a holiday has also been declared for Anganwadi centers and colleges in Palghar, Thane, Raigad, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg. The National Disaster Response Force conducted a one-day civil defense awareness and training camp in Rajouri in Jammu and Kashmir. The training was organized for the State Disaster Response Force, Civil Defense, Home Guards and J&K police personnel as well as local residents. The session focused on disaster preparedness and effective response strategies during floods, landslides and mudslides, which have been frequent in recent times in Jammu and Kashmir. Demonstrations were held on rescue techniques, first aid and evacuation methods in disaster-hit areas. All right, Viewers, let's move on in the bulletin now. Former Army Chief General Manoj Navarane has emphasized the importance of defense preparedness, stating that security comes at a cost. He noted that investing in defense is not a wasteful expense, but a very, very important, significant investment. Take a look.
Security comes at a cost. The Roman scholar in the 5th century AD had said that if you want peace, prepare for war. And over 15 centuries later, that truism still holds good. That you have to prepare for war if you want peace. And why do you want peace? Because peace is a precursor or a prerequisite for development. And defense preparedness does not come cheap. It comes at a cost. Now, many times we will wonder, is that cost worth it? Can't we do without it? And there are many people who advocate that why this is a wasteful expenditure. After all, at the same cost of one Rafale aircraft, you can build 20 schools and run them for 1 year. That is the stark difference. So do we need to spend that much? And it is a valid question. So on this, there are 2 points I would like to put across. One is that the defense of a country is something that cannot be outsourced. It has to be done by the country itself. You can outsource the security of your campus. How do you outsource the security of the country? You cannot. When we say, okay, China, come and guard us, you can't. Although they will be very happy if we say that. When you look at it that way, you will realize that it is a worthwhile expenditure. But there is one big difference. Your insurance kicks in when an incident or accident occurs. In the case of a defense expenditure, it prevents that incident from happening in the first place. It prevents the war from happening.
Viewers, we are live and breaking on Republic TV. We are taking a very, very short break. And coming up ahead, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is in India holding crucial talks with NSA Ajit Doval, also to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi later in the evening today. Also, NDA held a parliamentary meeting. Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah and Vice Presidential candidate Radhakrishnan in attendance. Mr. Radhakrishnan felicitated at the meeting. Details on those big stories and much more coming up ahead.
What makes you a legend? Maybe that you're followed by everyone. Maybe that you follow no one. Maybe both. 10 years of Creta. Legend forever. Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day. हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi in India holds crucial talks with NSA Ajit Doval, also to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. India holds parliamentary meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Ministers Amit Shah and Vice Presidential candidate Radhakrishnan in attendance. Sources say the Prime Minister, while addressing India in parliamentary meeting, calls Indus Water Treaty a blunder by Nehru. Opposition snowballs the vote chori allegation protests inside parliament premises.
जी और एस्ट्रोनॉमी दो अलग चीजें हैं। सरकार शायद नशत देकर के ही एसआईआर पे बात करेगी।
After stalling discussion on India's space journey, Samajwadi Party remains stern, says wants discussion on SIR first. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares a candid moment with Shubhanshu Shukla. They talk about the Gaganyaan mission. The big story that we are tracking for you, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who is on a two-day official visit to India, is holding 24th round of special representative dialogue on the boundary question with National Security Adviser Ajit Doval today. The Chinese Foreign Minister is also scheduled to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today, and according to officials, this meeting with the National Security Advisor is expected to cover a range of issues, including the boundary situation, trade, and also possible resumption of flight services between the two nations. So yesterday, the Chinese Foreign Minister held a meeting with External Affairs Minister, and at the moment, the meeting with NSA Ajit Doval is going on. And he is also expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi later in the evening today. And this is a very, very significant visit of Chinese Foreign Minister to India. This visit focusing on resuming high-level talks on the border issue, strengthening bilateral channels of dialogue, and also reviewing the economic engagements between the two countries. So, all right, let's get updates from Chandrakala, who's joining us live from the national capital. Chandrakala, what updates do you have about this meeting? Is it still going on?
Well, the meeting is yet to start. Of course, it was about to start at around 11 o'clock, but yes, it got delayed. So yes, the meeting is supposedly to start from sometimes now. And of course, that the border issue will be discussed between both the special representatives when it comes to the border questions. This is the 24th round of 24th special representative talks, and the Chinese Foreign Minister is meeting NSA Doval right at this moment in the national capital in the Hyderabad house. He's visiting at a very, very crucial time, and it's the first visit ever since the 2020 Galwan clash. And now that the border issues will be, apart from the border issues, of course, trade and connectivity is something which will be discussed between both the leaders. And it took 4 years to, of course, resolve the clash in Eastern Ladakh when it comes to the Galwan Valley clash. And of course, there were like multiple military talks that took place between both the countries, and ultimately, disengagement in disengagement happened in, of course, from 7 friction points. So this, carrying forward this momentum of de-escalation between both the countries, as External Affairs Minister has rightly pointed out, that de-escalation must move forward. So yes, this will be specifically conveyed by NSA Doval to the Chinese Foreign Minister, that de-escalation between both the countries must continue, must move forward as far as the relationship is concerned. If the bilateral ties need to be improved, of course, peace and tranquility in the border is very much important. So this will be the message being conveyed by the NSA to Chinese Foreign Minister. And of course, both the sides are also exploring measures to maintain peace and tranquility when it comes to the border issues. And of course, the relationship between the two countries are now has taken a thaw. There is a thaw in the relationship between both the countries after the Galwan Valley clash. And of course that the foreign minister is also slated to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi today in the evening. So yes, all eyes on that particular meeting as well. Over to you.
That's right, Chandrakala. And just recently, even NSA Doval had visited Moscow, and now the Chinese foreign minister is in the national capital. Do you think that this is, in a way, reactivating the RIC?
Oh yes, absolutely. This is a way forward to reactivating the ties and also the other issues, the mutual issues, the mutual commitment between both the countries. And of course, resumption of trade is something which is very important between both the countries. And yes, this is a very, very particular, this meeting is very crucial when it comes to both the sides, commitment between both the sides. Resumption of direct flights, of course, is one such, connectivity is one such issues. Yes, over to you.
That's right, Chandrakala. Thank you for joining us with those details. In fact, let's now move on to more breaking news that we are tracking. And this, as far as the Meerut assault case is concerned, in Meerut, a total of 7 people have been arrested in the case on the alleged assault of an army jawan by toll plaza employees in Uttar Pradesh. A senior officer has confirmed this as well. And the case pertains to the brutal assault of an army jawan by the employees of Buni Toll Plaza in Sarurpur. And this happened on Sunday evening. And this is that video where you can see the army jawan is tied to the pole and he's brutally assaulted. And now 7 people have been arrested after
और ये उनके पिताजी है। पिताजी बात अगर करें तो कार्रवाई काफ़ी ज़्यादा हुई है। प्राथमिकता से हमने ये खबर दिखाई, उसके बाद NHAI ने 20 लाख रुपए का जुर्माना जो है उस टोल प्लाजा पे लगाया, लाइसेंस रद्द करने की बात हो गई है। कैसे देख रहे हैं सर?
ठीक देख रहे जी, जो जनता देख रही है ठीक देख रही। हाँ। मैं तो उनसे संतुष्ट हूँ। हाँ जी, जो ये सब जनता कह रही है, जनता की मांग है, मतलब हाँ,
जनता की मांग है। लेकिन आपके बेटे के साथ ये मारपीट हुई है, ठीक है? आपके बेटे के साथ जो मारपीट हुई उसके बाद देखिए लोगों में गुस्सा देखने को मिला। NHAI तक ने संज्ञान ले लिया कि वो जो टोल प्लाजा की जिस एजेंसी को ठेका मिला था, अब आने वाले दिन भविष्य में भी कभी उन्हें कोई ठेका नहीं मिलेगा, उन्होंने सुनिश्चित कर दिया है। तो ये एक जीत हुई है, न्याय मिला है।
हाँ जी, न्याय मिला।
कैसे देख रहे हैं आप लोग? और भी परिवार के लोग हैं, ताऊ है, चाचा है, सभी को यहाँ पे है। एक 20 लाख रुपए का जुर्माना, लाइसेंस रद्द।
जी जी, ठीक है।
ठीक है, क्या कहेंगे?
कार्यवाही अच्छी है, NHAI वालों की भी अच्छी है। पुलिस प्रशासन ने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से काम करा और बहुत तत्परता के साथ उनको पकड़ के अंदर कर दिया। और नहीं, अगर वे थोड़ी ढील कर देते तो शायद विवाद और बढ़ जाता। और इसी के साथ में NHAI वालों को एक सुझाव है कि जहाँ भी प्रत्येक टोल के ऊपर जो उनके कार्यकर्ता हैं उनका नाम के साथ में एक लिस्ट चस्पा हो, पता चले कि कार्यकर्ता कितने हैं और उनकी एक ड्रेस हो। जो ये
मतलब पूरा उनका जो है एक रिकॉर्ड अच्छे से रखा जाए। लेकिन साथ ही साथ आपको एक और तस्वीर दिखाएंगे, क्योंकि ये जो उनके भाई जो उस दौरान यहाँ पे मौजूद थे, उनके साथ जिनके साथ सबसे ज़्यादा मारपीट हुई थी, एक तो आर्मी जवान यानी कपिल के साथ मारपीट हुई थी, दूसरा अगर हम उनके भाई की बात करें उनके साथ काफ़ी ज़्यादा मारपीट हुई थी, तो वो भी यहाँ पे है। हम एक बार उनसे भी बात करेंगे। भाई साहब, उन्हें थोड़ा बुलाइएगा, उनके साथ जिनके साथ मारपीट हुई थी। आपके हाथों में अभी भी मुझे ये पट्टी बंधी हुई नज़र आ रही है। कपिल जी के साथ भी जो हुआ, बहुत लोगों में गुस्सा देखने को मिला। आपके हाथों में देखिए ये पट्टी है, कमर में भी पट्टी लगी हुई है, सर भी फाड़ दिया गया। ये देखिए यहाँ पे भी चोट के निशान है और स्टिचेस लगे हुए हैं। आप उनके साथ ही थे। आप ये देखिए किस तरह से उन्होंने जो मोटे मोटे रॉड से जब मारा ये कार्रवाई की, और उसके बाद देखिए ये निशान, चोट के निशान आपको हम दिखा रहे हैं। हाथों में अभी भी पट्टी बंधी हुई है, सर पे स्टिचेस है, अभी भी खून के निशान है। यानी आप देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से उन्होंने अधमरा कर दिया है। कपिल जो है, जो जवान है, उनका भी इलाज चल रहा है, लेकिन ये उनके भाई है। क्या कुछ हुआ था, क्यों लेकर के विवाद जो है इतना ज़्यादा हो गया, किस तरह से? देखिए
बस गाड़ी पास कराने के उसमें थे, मैम जल्दी जाना था हमें थोड़ा सा, तो एक गाड़ी वाला जो था उसके साथ में वो बहस चल रही थी पहले से जो आ रखा था। तो हमने बोला कि हमारी गाड़ी निकल जाने दो, कपिल ने यही बोला था, मैं उसके साइड वाली सीट पे बैठा हुआ था। उसके बाद में निकलने के बाद में उसने अपना पास दिखाया, उन्होंने पास लेके पास फेंक दिया और बोले ले कि हम नहीं निकलने देंगे ऐसे। उसके साथ में बदतमीजी करी, उसके मुंह पे घूंट मारा, और साथ में करीब 8-10 लड़के थे, तुरंत से वे आए, रोड ले रखी थी, लटता उनके हाथ में, और एक बुढ़ा जो था ईंट से वार कर रहा था उसको पोल से बांध के।
पोल से बांध करके देखिए, हाँ, लेकिन पूरे मामले में देखिए बात करें तो पुलिस ने त्वरित कार्रवाई की है। 7 लोगों को पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। इसके साथ ही साथ अगर हम बात करें, NHAI ने उस टोल पर, जो टोल एजेंसी है, 20 लाख रुपए का जुर्माना लगा दिया है। साथ ही साथ जो है लाइसेंस रद्द करने की बात कर दी है। ये कार्रवाई कैसे देख रहे हैं आप?
बिल्कुल सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए मैम, और हो रखी है। और चाहिए जो भी थे ना, सब पकड़े जाने चाहिए मैम। बिल्कुल मतलब कंप्लीट पूरी रिपोर्ट चाहिए। जो लड़का वो था ना, बिट्टू नहीं, बिट्टू तो रात पकड़ा गया। जो जिस लड़के के हाथ में रोड थी, जो मार रहा था, वो लड़का अभी तक नहीं पकड़ा गया मैम, वो चाहिए।
कितने लोग थे? देखिए पुलिस ने तो अभी तक 7 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया है। पुलिस का कहना है कि CCTV के आधार पर जो हमें दिखे, हमने सबको
12 लोग थे। पूरा स्टाफ था जो भी था वहाँ पे, सारे वहीं पे थे बजाने में। कुछ अलग से भी लड़के थे।
अलग से मतलब क्या, उनके ही दोस्त यार थे वैसे बैठे थे?
जो बिट्टू था ना, उसके दोस्त थे।
अच्छा, नशे में भी कुछ नजर आ रहे थे क्या?
मैम अब नशे का तो बिल्कुल मुझे प्रॉपर पता नहीं, पर हाँ उन्होंने ड्रिंक कर रखी थी। क्योंकि वहाँ पे ये रोज वहाँ पे पार्टी करते हैं और वहीं पे बैठते हैं, रोज बदतमीजी करते हैं।
तो वो बदतमीजी करते हैं और चोट के निशान अभी भी आप देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि देखिए रविवार के रात की ही ये घटना है। अभी भी ये पूरी तरह से चोट के निशान है। ये स्टिचेस एक बार आप जूम करके CPG दिखाइए, ये स्टिचेस किस तरह से लगे हुए हैं। अभी भी यहाँ पे एक ब्लड नजर आ रहा होगा। काफ़ी ज़्यादा तकलीफ में लोग हैं यहाँ पे, और कह रहे हैं कि जो कार्रवाई हुई है ठीक है, और भी सख्त कार्रवाई, क्योंकि 7 लोगों की गिरफ्तारी हुई है। लेकिन इनका कहना है 10 से 11 लोग थे। और भी जब वो मार रहे थे, मतलब इतना गुस्सा क्यों आ गया उनमें, कि इतना ज़्यादा गुस्सा किस तरह से रॉड से बांध के पिटाई कर दी?
पता नहीं मैम। अब जब वे मार रहे थे, अब हमें क्या पता, हमारी भी हाथापाई हो रही थी। जब वे मारेंगे तो हमने भी फिर हाथापाई अपने आप को बचाने के लिए की, पर हमारे से कुछ नहीं हुआ। फिर वे काफ़ी सारे थे।
बोल क्या रहे थे? कुछ बोल रहे थे आपस में वो लोग?
मैम अब हम तो पीट रहे थे ना, अब हम क्या सुन पाएंगे? हमें तो कुछ पता नहीं लग रहा था पीटने के चक्कर में। अपनी जान बचाने के लिए थे हम तो जो बोल रहे थे बोल रहे होंगे। अब ये नहीं पता, गाली वाली ही दे रहे थे और बोल रहे थे कि मारो मारो, बस यही कर रहे थे।
तो पहले से कोई बात नहीं हुई थी? एट अ टाइम ही चीज़,
एट अ टाइम एकदम से, मतलब जो भी किया उन्होंने एकदम से किया है। आई कार्ड लेने के बाद में आई कार्ड फेंक के मारा और तुरंत से उन्होंने हाथापाई।
चोटें आई हैं अभी?
मैम हाथ पे है, कमर पे है, और सर में और पैरों में है।
अभी आप ठीक से चल भी नहीं पा रहे खुद से। क्या कह रहे हैं डॉक्टर, कितना दिन लगेगा ऐसे पूरी ठीक होने?
अभी तो टाइम लगेगा मैम।
और आपने कपिल जी से भी बात की, वो उनकी हालत अभी कैसी?
नहीं, मेरी कपिल जी से बात कुछ नहीं हुई। उसके बाद में जब से वहाँ पे गया मैच में, मेरी कोई बात नहीं हुई, क्योंकि मैं अपने ट्रीटमेंट में लगा हुआ था। उसका उधर से चल रहा है।
तो NHAI ने जो लाइसेंस रद्द करने की बात कही है और कहा है कि ये एजेंसी को अब कभी भी दोबारा लाइसेंस जो है नहीं मिलेगा, डिबार कर दिया पूरी तरह से। 20 लाख रुपए का जुर्माना भी लगा दिया है। ये कैसे देख रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल सही किया मैम।
देखिए NHAI का एक स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन यहाँ पे देखने को मिला है। साथ ही साथ यहाँ पे बात करें तो आस पड़ोस के लोग भी यहाँ पे है। ये उनका घर है कपिल का। यहाँ से ही लोग जो है शाम में निकले थे, क्योंकि उनकी फ़्लाइट थी। उन्हें श्रीनगर जाना था और वापस से ड्यूटी ज्वाइन करना था। लेकिन ऐसे में जैसे ही वो यहाँ से, अगर ये गोटका विलेज है, यहाँ से करीब 3 से 4 किलोमीटर आप आगे जाएंगे तभी वो टोल जो है वो टोल पड़ता है। और ऐसे में वहाँ पे जब वो पहुँचते हैं तो इस तरह से जो टोल कर्मी होते हैं वो बेरहमी से उनकी पिटाई कर रहे होते हैं। अभी हमने उनके भाई की तस्वीरें आपको दिखाई थी। ये परिवार के लोग हैं, यहाँ पे पिता है वो बैठे हुए हैं। NHAI ने ये जो कार्रवाई की है उसका भी धन्यवाद कर रहे हैं। पुलिस ने जो त्वरित कार्रवाई की है उसका भी धन्यवाद कर रहे हैं। लेकिन साफ तौर पर इनका ये भी कहना है कि 7 लोगों की गिरफ्तारी तो हो गई है, लेकिन 7 लोग नहीं है, उससे ज़्यादा यानी 10 से 11 लोग हैं, अधिक लोग हैं। यानी कुछ लोग अभी ऐसे और रह रहे हैं जिनकी गिरफ्तारी बची हुई है। वहीं पुलिस की तरफ से ये कहना है कि CCTV फुटेज के आधार पर अभी सभी की गिरफ्तारी हो गई है और भी जांच चल रही है। जांच का दायरा जो है वो लगातार बढ़ता चला जा रहा है। लेकिन देखिए किस तरह से ग्रामीण परिवेश के ये लोग हैं, बेहद ही सीधे साधे। और वो आर्मी का जवान जो अपनी ड्यूटी पे निकले थे, ड्यूटी करने जा रहे थे, ड्यूटी ज्वाइन करने जा रहे थे, घर से बाहर निकले थे और ऐसे में उनके साथ हाथापाई होती है। हाथापाई ऐसी होती है कि अधमरा कर दिया जाता है। जब भाई उनका बीच बचाव करने पहुंचता है तो हमने जो आपको तस्वीरें दिखाई कि किस तरह से ईंट से वो मार रहे होते हैं, जो सर में स्टिचेस आ जाते हैं, कमर की हड्डियां तोड़ देते हैं, चल नहीं पा रहे हैं, हाथों को पूरी तरह से तोड़ दिया गया है। तो आप अनुमान लगाइए कि आखिर उन लोगों ने कितनी बेरहमी से इनकी पिटाई की है। लेकिन राहत वाली बात यह भी है कि पुलिस ने कार्रवाई की है, 7 आरोपियों को गिरफ्तार किया है।
Well, that was the exclusive conversation with the army Jawan's family members. His father has welcomed the move and also the crackdown of arresting 7 individuals. But the brother of Kapil, the army Jawan who was brutally assaulted, claims that the man who was seen with the rod, who was seen assaulting after the army jawan was tied, is still scot-free, and he demands the arrest of that individual as well. And he claims that there were about a dozen individuals, not just 7, more than 7, around 12 of them, and the entire toll plaza staff were also there. They were also involved in the attack, and just 7 individuals have been arrested. Meanwhile, the National Highway Authority of India has also cancelled the license and have imposed a fine of 20 lakh rupees. But the demand for justice continues to grow louder and louder because the citizens are outraged at the attack on our army jawan. And this incident, viewers, like my colleague was mentioning, it just happened around 3 to 4 kilometers away from their home at a toll plaza. And what we understand is that the army jawan was heading to Srinagar, and that is when the brutal assault took place. When he showed his ID card, the toll plaza staffers discarded it, they snatched it and threw it away, and then they abused the army jawan, they tied him to a pole, and they assaulted him brutally, along with his brother as well. So now the outrage continues to grow, and the demand for justice is also being echoed across Meerut. Moving on, viewers, we have more breaking news coming in. On sources are informing us that there is no change in our position. This is the statement coming in, and according to the inside details of Wang Yi and NSA Doval meeting, we have source-based information, credible information, that there is no change in India's position on Taiwan. And India has also stressed that, like the rest of the world, India has a relationship with Taiwan that focuses on economic, technology, and cultural ties. And India has made it clear that it intends to continue those ties with Taiwan. The position will remain unchanged, status quo on Taiwan. This is the inside details coming in. We have Abhishek Kapoor, our senior executive editor, joining us live. Abhishek, this is source-based information that we are tracking, inside details of this key meeting between Wang Yi and also NSA Doval, where India has made its position very, very clear on Taiwan.
Well, you see, this misunderstanding cropped up, Deepak, yesterday when the Chinese statement came on the meeting between Wang Yi and S. Jaishankar, and whether it was a translation issue from Mandarin to English or what, but an impression gained ground that India has sort of evolved its position on Taiwan, that we have sort of said anything which, amounts to suggesting that Taiwan is part of China. Nothing like that has happened. India has not evolved its position on Taiwan, and that's why this information coming in through sources that we continue to have trade and cultural ties with Taiwan, and we intend to continue with those, and that our stated positions remain same. So I think this is more like to make sure that the translation issue is not something which is used to reflect on India's policy on Taiwan in any manner.
That's right, Abhishek, and this is indeed a big development coming in. These are inside details of the meeting between Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and NSA Ajit Doval. And according to sources, India has made its position very, very clear on Taiwan, saying that India will continue its economic, technological, and also cultural ties with Taiwan. And there is no change in our stand as far as our relationship with Taiwan is concerned, and this comes amid the high-stakes meeting between Chinese Foreign Minister and NSA Doval. In fact, we'll also get our reporters live, but right now let's stick to this breaking news that we're tracking. And according to credible sources, highly placed sources who are aware of what's happening behind these closed doors, they're informing us that India has made its stand crystal clear to Beijing. NSA Doval and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar have reiterated their stand on Taiwan, that it remains status quo, it remains unchanged. And this, even as the meeting is currently underway, Wang Yi has been given a very, very strong response as far as Taiwan is concerned, because China claims that Taiwan is part of its territory, and now India has made it clear that whatever the differences are between China and Taiwan, India's position, India's relationship with Taiwan remains unchanged. Chandrakala is also joining us. Chandrakala, this is a big statement coming in. As per sources, that India has made its stand very, very clear. Help us understand what this could be and also help us read between the lines.
Now that, of course, the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has met China's Foreign Minister yesterday, and what transpired from this is that, of course, he has made his stand clear when it comes to Taiwan's issue. Of course, we know that China claims Taiwan as a part of the territory. Now, India has again reiterated its stand that our position on Taiwan remains consistent. Of course, we share a good ties with Taiwan as well when it comes to economic and cultural ties, and similar to the global approach. So yes, India has reiterated its position that the position when it comes to the Taiwan issue, our stand remains clear and consistent, and that the ties between India and Taiwan, the economic ties, remains consistent. So yeah, over to you.
That's right, Chandrakala. Thank you for joining us with those details. Now, moving on, viewers, as India prepares for a long-range missile test in the Bay of Bengal, the USS Santa Barbara quietly docks at Colombo port officially for refueling, unofficially for something that's far more calculated. And this is a combat ship equipped with advanced surveillance and signal intelligence systems. It has arrived just days before India's NOTAM window closes, placing it squarely within range of the test's trajectory. Here's more.
Days before India's long-range missile test window opens, the US Navy's USS Santa Barbara has docked in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Officially, it's a refueling stop. Unofficially, it's a precision-timed deployment that aligns almost too neatly with India's upcoming strategic launch. The Indian government has issued a NOTAM for August 2021, marking a danger zone that stretches nearly 4,800 kilometers into the Indian Ocean. That trajectory isn't routine. It's textbook for a high-range ballistic missile, likely the Agni 5 and possibly even the under-development Agni 6. The presence of a US surveillance-capable warship just off the coast of this launch corridor is no accident. The Santa Barbara is an Independence-class littoral combat ship, optimized for near-shore operations and modular mission flexibility. It's not a destroyer or cruiser, but it's no lightweight either. Its sensor suite includes the Sea Giraffe AMB radar, a multi-mode 3D air and surface search radar capable of tracking fast-moving aerial targets and low-flying cruise missiles. It's paired with the AN/KAX-2 EO IR system, which provides higher resolution thermal and optical imaging, ideal for spotting missile plumes, heat signatures, and re-entry events. The ship also carries EDO ES3601 ESM gear, which can intercept and analyze electromagnetic emissions, including telemetry signals and radar pulses from missile tracking systems. Onboard aviation assets include MH-60R Seahawk helicopters, which are equipped with ALQ-210 electronic support systems, AN/APS-153 multimode radar, and FLIR forward-looking infrared sensors. These platforms can extend the ship's surveillance range, conduct signals intelligence, SIGINT missions, and even track missile stages mid-flight. With a top speed exceeding 40 knots and a low radar cross-section, the Santa Barbara can reposition quickly and operate discreetly in contested waters. India's NOTAM reveals a launch corridor that begins off the eastern coast and arcs deep into the southern Indian Ocean. The dimensions and timing suggest a lofted trajectory, often used to simulate full-range performance while keeping the re-entry vehicle within national waters. This is consistent with Agni 5, India's 3-stage solid-fueled missile with a range of 5,000 to 7,000 kilometers. But the extended danger zone and recent MRIV-related upgrades point towards something bigger. Possibly Agni 6, which is rumored to carry 10-plus MRIVs, feature canisterized launch capability and reach 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers. If this test validates Agni 6's flight profile, it would mark India's entry into the ICBM club with credible second strike capability. The timing of the Santa Barbara's arrival just 4 days before the test window raises serious questions. This ship is not here to refuel, it's here to observe. Its systems are capable of collecting telemetry data, tracking radar emissions from Indian ground stations, and monitoring the missile's flight path in real time. The US has a long history of deploying assets near strategic test zones to gather intelligence, and this fits the pattern perfectly. In fact, this isn't the first time the US has positioned surveillance platforms near Indian missile tests. During the 2024 Agni-5 MRIV validation, US analysts released detailed assessments within hours of the launch, suggesting real-time data collection. In 2022, when India's nuclear submarine INS Arihant conducted a successful SLBM test, satellite imagery showed US Air Force RC-135 rivet joint aircraft operating in the Bay of Bengal. Even during the BrahMos ER test from a Su-30 MKI, there was increased US naval presence in the region, including P-8A Poseidon flights and Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers transiting nearby. These deployments aren't symbolic, they are tactical. The US uses platforms like the Santa Barbara to gather radar signatures, telemetry packets, and launch behavior data that feed into missile defense simulations and strategic assessments. With India's missile program advancing rapidly, especially in MRIV tech, canisterization, and SLBM capability, the need for real-time observation is never higher. Sri Lanka's role in this setup is also worth noting. The country recently lifted its ban on foreign research vessels, a move widely interpreted as a concession to Chinese interests. But now, with a US warship docked in Colombo just before India's missile test, it's clear that Sri Lanka is being used as a staging ground for strategic observation. Whether willingly or passively, Colombo has become a node in the Indo-Pacific surveillance web. So, when the USS Santa Barbara arrives in Colombo days before a likely Agni-5 or Agni-6 test, it's not just refueling, it's positioning, it's collecting, it's watching. And while official statements may talk about partnership and logistics, the reality is clear. Every launch is tracked, every signal is intercepted, and every capability is measured. For India, this test is a message. For the US, it's a moment to listen very closely.
On that note, viewers, we'll slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We have two crucial stories on the other side. One, we'll get you the inside details of the key meeting between Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and NSA Doval. He's also said to meet the Prime Minister. Along with that, we'll also tell you about the NDA parliamentary meeting between PM Modi, Amit Shah, and the South Face in VP race, Radha Krishnan. Stay tuned.
सीक्रेट रेसिपी एमडीएच का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूम देखो तुम्हारा रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला डिलीशियस हेल्दी एवरीडे
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद के हित तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
I choose a world where we care and we dare to love. I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best life.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics.
Living my
Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला। सिर्फ जीरा सिर्फ MDH का जल जीरा सिर्फ MDH का जल जीरा सिर्फ।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूम देखो मतवाला हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
Pictures coming in of the crucial meeting between Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and NSA Ajit Doval, and these are the pictures coming in from the national capital.
边界的问题啊，那么注入了动力。我们看到在年底的时候，第23次的特大会晤，谈得很好。我们就如何来管控边境的分歧，稳定边境地区的形势，那么探讨解决问题的途径，那么这个达成了新的重要的一些共识，也明确了我们的具体的目标，那么形成了工作的框架。我们也对目前边境地区的形势走向稳定啊，我们是感到欣慰的。多尔先生，你作为印度方面的特别代表，也为此做出了努力我们表示赞赏。那双边关系目前面临着进一步改善发展的重要的机遇，中方高度重视莫迪总理本月底应邀赴华出席上合组织的峰会，我们相信印度方面的与会将会为上合天津峰会的成功那么做出印方的贡献。历史和现实一再证明，中印关系健康稳定发展，符合两国的根本和长远利益，那么也是广大发展国家他们的共同的期待。我们应该按照两国领导人做出的战略指引，通过对话沟通来增进彼此的互信，通过交流合作来扩大共同利益，妥善解决双方在边界等领域的一些具体的问题，那么推动中印关系能够保持一个 健康稳定的发展的势头。那么我们刚才已经进行了非常深入细致的小范围的会谈，我们愿在这个基础之上在大盘会谈当中进一步的那么汇集我们的共识，为下一步的我们的边界问题的磋商来这个明确我们的方向和具体的目标，同时也为两岸关系的改善和发展来营造更好的条件。好，谢谢。
Mr. Doval, I'm very pleased to meet you again in New Delhi for this round of talks between the special representatives of China and India on the boundary question. The setbacks we experienced in the past few years were not in the interests of the people of our two countries. And then in October last year, President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi had an important meeting in Kazan. That meeting pointed the direction for the development of our bilateral relations and provided impetus for the proper settlement of the boundary question. We had a very good 23rd round of special representatives talks at the end of last year. At that meeting, we reached new and important consensus on the management of disagreements, stabilizing the borders, and moving toward a settlement. We identified specific goals and formed a working framework. We are heartened to see the stability that is now restored in the borders. Mr. Doval, I appreciate your effort that you made as special representative of the Indian side. Now, the bilateral relationship is facing an important opportunity of improvement and growth. The Chinese side attaches great importance to the Prime Minister's visit to China to attend the SCO summit at our invitation. We believe that the Indian side will also make your contribution to a successful summit in Tianjin. History and reality proves once again that a healthy and stable China-India relationship serves the fundamental and long-term interests of both of our countries. It is also what the developing countries all want to see. Our two sides should follow the strategic guidance of our leaders, increase mutual trust through strategic communication, expand common interest through exchanges and cooperation, and properly settle the specific issues in the borders so as to advance our relationship in a healthy and sound manner. Just now, we had in-depth and detailed communication in a small group meeting. At the large group meeting, I am ready to work with you to build more consensus and identify the direction, the specific goals of the boundary consultations going forward, and create more conditions for the improvement and further growth of our bilateral relations. Thank you.
Excellency, let me take this opportunity to introduce members of my delegation.
Okay.
On my right.
介绍我的代表团。
莫迪总理本月底应邀赴华出席上合组织的峰会，我们相信印度方面的与会将会为上合天津峰会的成功那么做出印方的贡献。历史和现实一再证明，中印关系健康。
All right, that was a bilateral meeting that was held, and soon after that, the comments that are coming in from the Chinese top diplomat. This is Wang Yi, who is addressing NSA Doval, also in attendance. Chandrakala is joining me live on the broadcast. Chandrakala, take us through what next after the initial comments are made. I believe NSA Ajit Doval is also speaking there. If you can get in the first comments from India's National Security Adviser as well.
Well, absolutely. A very, very crucial meeting has just taken place. We have seen the opening remarks by both the sides, and of course, NSA Doval has begun with the fact that, 9 months, after 9 months, the relations is in the upward trajectory, of course, and he has also mentioned that the last year, the 23rd round of special representative talks was successful. Now that the bilateral relations is gaining momentum, and of course, the Chinese counterpart has also assured that, of course, peace and tranquility in the border will be maintained by both the sides. So yes, a very, very crucial understanding between both the sides now, coming after years of clashes, skirmishes between both the countries, ever since the Galwan Valley clash took place, and of course the Doklam for that matter. So yes, this particular meeting is not just a meeting, but yes, two rivalry, the South Asian giants meeting after years of clashes. So yes, looking forward as to what could be the outcome of this meeting now that both the countries have conveyed to each other that the bilateral ties is moving towards upward trajectory is something which is very crucial for the entire international community, especially for the US. Over to you.
Right, Chandrakala, we also learned that the top diplomat of the Chinese counterpart is going to hold a crucial meeting with the Prime Minister today as well. When is that slated, and what is going to be the key agenda of that meeting?
Well, yes, the Chinese foreign minister will also be meeting the Prime Minister today. He is here for a two-nation visit, 2 days visit, and of course, tomorrow he'll be departing from India. And today he is meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence at around 5:30 p.m. India time. And the fact that, of course, border issues will be one such agenda, but of course, major focus would be on the tariff and the fact that China has come out in strong support. A very, very unlikely ally. China is now cozying up with India. The Prime Minister meeting Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is a very, very crucial development when it comes to Indian diplomacy. A very, very busy week for India right at this moment, and of course we are expecting several issues would be discussed when he will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Of course, starting from the border issues to connectivity to resumption of flights. Of course, after years of clashes, would be on the agenda. Trade would be one such aspect that would be discussed between both the leaders. Over to you.
Absolutely, Chandrakala. Stay with me. In fact, let's also listen into that statement that was given by National Security Adviser Ajit Doval just a few moments back.
A very warm welcome. Thank you very much for being here. I had a wonderful meeting in the last round in Beijing, and I'm very happy that since then, in the last 9 months, there has been an upward trend. Borders have been quiet. There have been peace and tranquility. Our bilateral engagements have been more substantial. And we are most grateful to our leaders who, in Kazan, in October last, were able to set a new trend. And we have profited a lot since then. The new environment that has been created has helped us in moving ahead in the various areas that we were working on. I'm very hopeful that, like the last one, this 24th Special Representative level talks would be equally successful. Our Prime Minister will be visiting for the SCO summit shortly, and therefore I think that this SR level talks assume a very special importance. This is the 75th year of our diplomatic relations, and it's a time to celebrate. And we find that with this new energy and the new momentum, that it is this thing with your personal efforts and with the maturity and the sense of responsibility of our diplomatic teams and our missions in the countries, your ambassador here, and also our armies on the borders, we have been able to make it this thing. So thank you very much. Sincerely, I welcome your initial remarks.
In fact, we're getting in more details of the key crucial meet that was held between the top Chinese diplomat and the NSA Ajit Doval. We're learning that the Chinese embassy has now issued a statement where they say that India and China together must move forward to take the agenda of the global south to the world. In fact, the Chinese embassy in this statement has also said that we must defy China and India must defy unilateralism and shape a multipolar future. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, who is on a 2-day official visit to India, will be holding 24th round of special representative dialogue on the boundary question with NSA Ajit Doval. In fact, we saw the initial comments just a few moments back. Ajit Doval held a key meeting today. Yesterday it was with External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. The Chinese Foreign Minister is also scheduled to meet the Prime Minister today, according to officials. The meeting with the National Security Adviser is expected to cover a range of issues, including boundary situation, trade and possible resumption of flight services. Chandrakala continues to stay with me on the broadcast on that note. Chandrakala, it seems that the India-China ties are resetting. The Prime Minister meeting with the Prime Minister is going to be held today at 7 LKM. And before Chandrakala, I come to you, I'm also being joined by Madhav Nalapat, geopolitical expert on the phone line. Madhav Nalapat, what do you think of China extending an olive branch to India? It seems like China is trying to reset ties with us.
Look, I will believe that when Chinese troop presence on the border is reduced, when their plan to build roads right up to the line of actual control is abandoned, because why are those roads being built? Why are those facilities being created if not to further grab Indian territory? They already have a lot of Indian territory right from 1950s, and they want to grab even more. So quite frankly, Mr. Wang Yi is the smiling face of Chinese state politics. But I will believe that smile if they start slowing down, the building of roads to the border, and if they de-escalate their troop presence. There's an increasing Chinese troop presence on the border, and of course, therefore, we have to do a commensurate increase so that we can be on our guard. So I would only like to say, I would like to go by actions, but not words. And so far, the actions of the Chinese side have not been exactly the same as the words coming out of the Chinese side, including by the very suave, very genteel Foreign Minister Wang Yi.
Absolutely, Madam Nalapa, thank you very much for sharing your views on that. Chandrakala, coming to you now. We learned that China is trying to extend an olive branch. They are trying to mend ties with India. This crucial meeting also comes at a time when India has made it clear that there is no change in stance as far as Taiwan is concerned. What more details do you have on that front?
Yes, so now that we know that External Affairs Minister meeting Chinese Foreign Minister, when he has said that, both, of course, we have seen the Chinese embassy statement noting that, China and India must lead the global south. A huge statement coming in because, after years of rivalry, now both the nation has taken a decision to come on board and to the meeting table and discuss the issues. And this particular visit comes after 7 years, and of course, as far as the Galwan Valley clash is concerned, and now India has also once again reiterated its Taiwan stand when it comes to one China policy. Of course, the stand on Taiwan and made it clear that, of course, we share an economic ties with Taiwan. There is an understanding with both the nation, and also now that China, India are also, moving ahead to build a better ties between both the nations. And we are looking forward to a very, very crucial meeting to be taking place between the Chinese Foreign Minister and the Prime Minister of India, that's Narendra Modi, from sometimes now at 5:30 p.m. So yes, a very crucial meet is underway, and this is a huge diplomatic development. And the Chinese embassy has also stated clearly. That China, India must lead the global south, defy unilateralism, and shape a multipolar future. This was also reiterated by External Affairs Minister yesterday during the meeting with the Chinese Foreign Minister.
Over to you.
Right, Chandrakala, thank you very much for getting us those details. We will come back to you as and when there are more updates on the story. But for now, it's time for us to shift our focus to more stories that we are tracking on this edition. In yet another horrifying incident in Udaipur, a 5-year-old boy was brutally mowed down and attacked by 3 stray dogs while playing outside his home in Gautam Vihar colony on RTO Road. This happened in Udaipur, Rajasthan. The shocking episode has been captured on a CCTV camera. It shows how the dogs dragging and biting the child before his mother rushed to the rescue just in time. We learn that parallelly in Karnataka, a tragic case of negligence towards stray dog menace has claimed the life of a 4-year-old girl. The child was attacked by a stray dog while playing inside her house 4 months ago and later developed rabies. Despite receiving treatment, she succumbed to the infection after months of struggle. All right, we're trying to get in more details on the horrific case that has come to light from 2 states. Number one in Rajasthan, the other one in Karnataka. In Rajasthan, as you see in Udaipur on the first, on the left-hand side of your window, a 5-year-old child has been mowed down by 3 stray dogs who came attacking at the 5-year-old, a toddler, without any provocation. The dog then pulls the toddler by the feet and drags him. In the second case, which is from Devangre in Karnataka, a 4-year-old who had been bitten by the stray dogs, then developed rabies and have ultimately succumbed to injuries. The case in Karnataka is about a 4-year-old girl who has died after contracting rabies following a stray dog attack in Devangre city's Shastri layout. The deceased, we learn, has been identified as Khadera Banu, who was mauled by a stray dog about 4 months ago. After the attack, in fact, she developed rabies and had been undergoing treatment at Bengaluru's Rajiv Gandhi Hospital for the past 4 months. Despite several efforts at various private hospitals as well, the child tragically succumbed to the injuries. Akanksha, my colleague, is joining me live on the broadcast on that. Akanksha, 2 states, same case, stray dog menace continues to take over cities across India, be it Karnataka, be it Rajasthan, or even the national capital.
Well, absolutely. See, several such cases have come to the fore in the last few weeks, and this one is from Udaipur. We are learning that another horrifying incident has taken place. A 5-year-old boy was brutally attacked by 3 stray dogs while playing outside his home, and this, in fact, took place in the Gautam Vihar colony is what we are learning. The shocking episode was captured on CCTV camera, and those are the visuals on your screen in which we can see that the dog is dragging and biting the child before the mother rushed to rescue just in time. And as you also mentioned, Tanisha, in Karnataka as well, there was a similar incident that took place that has unfortunately claimed the life of a 4-year-old girl. And we're learning that the child was attacked by a stray dog while she was playing outside her house around, this happened 4 months ago, and later she developed rabies is what we're learning. But despite receiving the treatment, she has now succumbed to the infection months after the struggle. So not just in Rajasthan or Karnataka, several such cases have come to the fore in the last few months, but tragically what we're learning in Karnataka, this 4-year-old girl that we can see on the screen, she has lost her life because of the rabies. In Udaipur, in fact, 5-year-old boy, as we are showing in the visuals, was brutally attacked by a pack of dogs.
Absolutely, Akanksha. Thank you very much for sharing those details. Moving across to some other stories that we're tracking, at least 63 people have died and over 100 people are still missing as cloudburst has unleashed havoc in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district. Our colleague Goswami brings you this report from Ground Zero on what the situation looks like currently.
Relief and the rescue operation continues for the 6th day in the Chashoti village of the Kishtwar, where several lives are still feared to be trapped, and now the men and machinery from outside the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is also being brought to the operation site. This comes at a time when we have seen that the large-scale rescue operations are being brought in, and also it's the case that the Indian Army is especially introducing its all-terrain vehicles, more and more all-terrain vehicles into the rescue operations, while the inclement weather conditions have come to a standstill, and now the sun has come up, making it a bit easier for the authorities to carry out relief and rescue operation, while on the other hand, the story of Hukam Chand has also emerged. Hukam Chand, the government teacher who was there at the time of incident, he first rescued and saved 80 school students that were there preparing for the Independence Day and the Janmashtami, and then he swung into the rescue operations, and during the rescue operations he saved more than 40 lives. But unfortunately in this incident he lost his brother, his sister-in-law, and also his niece in this tragedy that has unfolded. So far 64 people have lost their life in this tragic incident that has taken place in the Chashoti village of the Kishtwar district, and relief and the rescue operation are continuing with the recovery of one body this morning by the rescue teams. Now the Home Secretary of Jammu and Kashmir, Chandrakar Bharti, along with the senior IPS officer Uttam Chand, who is IG Operations Jammu and Kashmir, will be reaching the operation site to review the on-ground situation and to carry out the assessment that what has unfolded in the area and how the relief and the rescue operations are continuing. Apart from this, Indian Air Force has also been kept on standby, and it is believed that one of the union ministers will be arriving here tomorrow.
Moving on to some international stories that we are tracking. Donald Trump held talks with the European Union leaders after his meeting with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. The multilateral talks notably downplayed the prospect of an immediate ceasefire, despite European leaders' insistence on its necessity before the meaningful negotiations. Donald Trump, aligning with Putin's stance post his Alaska summit, emphasized a comprehensive peace agreement over a temporary ceasefire, suggesting negotiations could proceed while fight continues. Here's a detailed report on that.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to have you here. It's Ukraine, and I actually think there won't be. I think that's even overrated, largely overrated, but we're going to find How are you? Nice to see you. That's a good way to do it. Not too long. That's a very All of us would obviously prefer an immediate ceasefire while we work on a lasting peace, and maybe something like that could happen. As of this moment, it's not happening, but President Zelensky and President Putin can talk a little bit more about that. You know, in the 6 or so wars that we stopped, we haven't had a ceasefire. And so I don't know that it's necessary. You can do it through the war, but it would be, I like the ceasefire from another standpoint. You immediately stop the killing. But I believe a peace agreement at the end of all of this is something that's very attainable, and it can be done in the near future. With all of the wars that I got involved in, we only have this one left. Of course, as I walk out the door, there'll probably be a new one starting, and I'll get that stopped too. But I thought this was going to be one of the easier ones. It's actually one of the most difficult. They're very complex.
Complicated negotiations. And to be honest, we're united. So that's why it's a very...
To be honest, we all would like to see a ceasefire, at the latest from the next meeting on. I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that, and let's try to put pressure on Russia, because the credibility of these efforts we are undertaking today are depending on at least a ceasefire from the beginning of the serious negotiations from next step on. So I would like to emphasize this aspect and would like to see a ceasefire from the next meeting, which should be a trilateral meeting wherever it takes place.
That's a pretty unusual thing.
Microphone.
Well, we're going to let the president go over and talk to the president, and we'll see how that works out, and if we can do that. I will say, and again I say it, in the 6 wars that I've settled, I haven't had a ceasefire. We just got into negotiations, and one of the wars was, as you know, in the Congo was 31 years long. Another one that we settled last week with 2 great countries was 35 years going on, and we had no ceasefire. So if we can do the ceasefire, great. And if we don't do a ceasefire, because many other points were given to us.
Likewise, thank you.
Today, we've had a very successful day thus far. Important discussions as we work to end the killing and stop the war in Ukraine. We're all working for the same goal.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूम देखो केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gather here today. And Russia continues to attack civilians, this time.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
I choose a world where we care and we dare to love. I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best life.
mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi holds crucial talks with NSA Ajit Doval, also to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi later today. NDA holds parliamentary meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, Vice Presidential candidate Radhakrishnan in attendance. Sources say Prime Minister Modi, while addressing the NDA in the parliamentary meeting, called for the Indus Water Treaty as a blunder by Prime Minister Nehru. Opposition snowballs the voter chori allegations, protests inside and outside parliament premises.
एस्ट्रोलॉजी और एस्ट्रोनॉमी दो अलग चीजें हैं। सरकार शायद नशत देकर गई एसआईआर पे बात करेगी।
After stalling discussions on India's space journey, SP remains stern, says want discussion on the special intensive revision first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares a candid moment with Subhanshu Shukla. They talk about the Gaganyaan mission. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Live and Breaking with me, Krutat Patnaik, at 12:30 p.m. this Tuesday afternoon. Our top story remains incessant rains continue to lash Mumbai. The IMD now has issued a red alert in the city, and schools and colleges have been shut today. Several areas are waterlogged and are severely affected, including Andheri, Bandra, Ville Parle, and Chembur, owing to waterlogging. Both the lanes of the Andheri subway were also shut, and the vehicular movement for the day has also been massively disrupted. This is the second straight day now that a red alert has been issued in Mumbai as incessant rains continue to lash the financial capital of India. You can see knee-deep waters in certain parts. Traffic disrupted. Schools and colleges once again have been shut in the city of Mumbai as incessant rains continue to lash for a second straight day on August 19th, today on Tuesday, as the week started in Mumbai with a great amount of rainfall. Red alert continues to remain in Mumbai. As you can see, there has been massive disruptions in Bandra, Chembur and Andheri. In fact, subways have also been stopped. My colleague Satya Prakash is reporting live for us from Mumbai on the situation at the present. Satya Prakash, what's the situation on ground vis-a-vis waterlogging? For a second straight day now today, schools and colleges have been shut in Mumbai.
देखिए, मुंबई में लगातार बारिश हो रही है। बारिश होने की वजह से जगह जगह पानी भरा हुआ है। 2 से 3 फुट पानी भर चुका है हर जगह पे सड़क पर, और सड़क जो है नदी बन चुका। मैं इस समय साइन स्टेशन पे हूँ, रेलवे स्टेशन पे हूँ, और लोकल की रफ्तार बंद हो चुकी है। लोकल जो चल रही थी CST से लेकर थाने तक वो बंद हो चुकी है। मैं ट्रैक का तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ। रेलवे ट्रैक पर देखिए किस तरह से पानी पानी नजर आ रहा है, नदी बन गया। सामने देखिए किस तरह से पूरा पानी जमा हो गया है। पानी भरने की वजह से ट्रैक पे कहीं न कहीं जो लोकल था, लोकल बंद हो चुका है। जो CST से थाने कल्याण जाती है लोकल पूरी तरह बंद होगा। जो यात्री है, यात्री कहीं कहीं रेलवे स्टेशन पे खड़े हैं, इंतजार कर रहे हैं लोकल ट्रेन का, लेकिन लोकल ट्रेन बंद हो चुकी है, सस्पेंड हो चुकी है। जब तक ये ट्रैक से पानी नहीं उतरेगा तब तक यहाँ पर लोकल नहीं चलेगी। जो CST से लेकर थाने कल्याण के लिए लोकल ट्रेन जाती है उसको सस्पेंड कर दिया है सेंट्रल रेलवे ने। हर्बल लाइन की जो लोकल ट्रेन है वो भी बंद हो चुकी है, क्योंकि लगातार जो है ट्रैक पे पानी बढ़ता जा रहा है, जिसको लेकर कहीं कहीं रेलवे ने लोकल ट्रेन को सस्पेंड कर दिया है। सामने मैं तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ किस तरह से यहाँ पे सामने देखिए पूरा जो पानी ही पानी नजर आ रहा है। आगे एकदम नदी ही नदी नजर आ रहा है। ट्रैक पे पूरा पानी जमा हो चुका है। दोनों ट्रैक पे दोनों साइड में जो है वहाँ पे पानी भर चुका है। लगातार पानी भरता जा रहा है। मुंबई के अलग अलग इलाकों में 3 से 4 फुट पानी जमा हो चुका है। सड़क पर पानी भरा हुआ है, सड़क नदी बन चुका है। और लोकल ट्रेन की जो ट्रैक है, देखिए लोकल ट्रेन की ट्रैक देखिए किस तरह से पानी भर चुका है। दोनों साइड में ट्रैक पे पानी भरा हुआ है। पानी भरने की वजह से जो सेंट्रल लाइन की लोकल ट्रेन चलती है CST से लेकर थाने कल्याण जो अलग अलग जगह जाती है उसको सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है। थोड़ी देर पहले ही सस्पेंड किया गया है। और वेस्टर्न लाइन की जो लोकल की रफ्तार है वो धीमी हो चुकी है, 15 से 20 मिनट देरी चल रही है। हर्बल लाइन की लोकल सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है, क्योंकि जिस तरह से लगातार बारिश हो रही है, ट्रैक पे पानी जमा हो चुका है और यात्री परेशान है। सामने जो देखिए किस तरह से यात्री इंतजार कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग स्टेशनों पर इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि लोकल ट्रेन आए, लेकिन आधे घंटे पहले ही लोकल ट्रेन को सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है, क्योंकि ट्रैक पे पूरा जमा हो चुका पानी। ये साइन है कुर्ला में पानी पूरा जमा हो चुका, अलग अलग स्टेशनों पे ट्रैक पे पानी भर चुका है, और जो यात्री है अलग अलग स्टेशनों पे फंसे हुए हैं। जी,
Thank you so much, Satya Prakash, for tracking those developments. Ladies and gentlemen, for a second straight day now, red alert issued in the financial capital, Mumbai, Bandra, Chembur, Andheri. Those are the live visuals that we are tracking. Knee-deep waters now. Trains also being disrupted. Flights also being diverted. My colleague Satya Prakash continues to report live at the moment as schools and colleges have been shut for a second straight day, as incessant rainfall continues to lash the city for the last 24 to 48 hours in both Thane and Palghar districts. Also, red alert has been issued. The Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Airport was also heavily waterlogged, affecting flight schedules today. Indigo had also issued a travel advisory for passengers to plan ahead, warning of any possible delays on arrival. That's the latest update coming in from the IMD, which is continuing to maintain an orange and now, in fact, even a red alert that was issued all the way back on Saturday. It's Tuesday now, 4 continuous days of tremendous rainfall and downpour that has been received. And Satya Prakash continues to remain live with us. Satya Prakash, what is the latest vis-a-vis any rescue operations also presently underway at the moment as travel has been disrupted? Yesterday we saw that we had seen police officers and fire officers rescuing school children from a bus and various other incidents. Today immense precaution has been taken. Have there been any other such reports? Satya Prakash, if you can hear me.